What's up, YouTube? It's Rochelle Tannen again here with another video. It's about 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 15th, 2022. I didn't know this was going on, but I'm so glad it is. I had to jump on for a few minutes to discuss Candance Owens and Patrisse Cullors. I believe that's her name. I butcher names, so forgive me. She's a co-founder of BLM. BLM. I found out Candance Owens is putting together a documentary about the misused funds of Black Lives Matter, or BLM. And Patrisse Cullors, I didn't even finish watching the interview because I don't think I really need to, is with these crocodile tears and it's the right and it's the this, it's the that. Let me tell you something about BLM. When BLM first got started, I guess it's a noble ideology. Black Lives Matter. I'm black, so I think Black Lives Matter. But what's troubling to me is other blacks don't think Black Lives Matter. Or you have to be a certain kind of black for your life to matter. Now, Candance Owens, she's from my neck of the woods. We're from the same state. And I will give it to us New England women. We have tough skin. Because Candance Owens has been dragged, talked down on like she's crazy, like she's the number one issue, or blacks like her in the black community. I watched a couple years ago, I believe it's in 2022. It was the Revolt Conference. I know Sean P. Diddy Combs had, I know he was sponsored or produced or both this convention. It had T.I., Candance Owens, Killer Mike, and a couple other rappers or something. And the way that black audience treated Candance Owens was disgusting. T.I. too. Clifford Harris. Now, let me be clear on Clifford. I liked his music early on, back in the day, back in about 04, before I left New England, and niggas used to call him corny and country, and no one would listen. I was like, yo, trap music is a really great album. Y'all don't know what you're missing. When they were calling his ass corny north of the Mason-Dixie line, I always knew his music was phenomenal. But luckily, we're in a time where it's not just your commercial success and your mass-produced success. We can see who you are through an interview, and I don't really care for T.I.'s personality, and people like him. Because T.I. is smart enough to know exactly what Candance Owens was saying on that stage. One of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem, is the destruction of the nuclear family with black people. Y'all don't have to like it. Y'all can call her white. I've been called white. Blacks like me been called white. But that is the number one problem. Y'all don't have to believe it, but it's the truth. Because a lot of black people like to jump back to the slave ships like they were living in that time. But if you really did any research, and I'm not talking about Google, actually go to a library, pick up a book and read about slavery up until now, up until the last like 50, 60 years, black people always were married. Through the lynchings, through slavery, through all that, they were always married. That's why the neighborhoods were able to stay so strong. My parents, both of them died married. My grandparents, they were married people. A lot of my aunts, my mother's sisters, they were married women. My father's sisters. So when that black lady, Candance Owens, told that crowd, black fathers and mothers and families are needed, and they damn near booed her. Then T.I. gets to say some asinine shit, and they're applauding. See, black people got to the point where they applaud the wrong shit. And see, I'm the type of thinker, again, I said this on another video. I don't think I posted it because I'm not going to be arguing back and forth about YouTubers I like or don't like. I'm going to say what I said and leave it at that. Black people always applaud the wrong fucking things. They applaud these rappers and these celebrities, and I believe like Malcolm X, none of these people are leaders. None of them. T.I. doesn't lead me. None of these singers, any of them. And to be honest, a lot of these rappers and singers should keep themselves out of politics. Because truth be told, those people that you'll talk about, the Republicans and the Trump supporters and all them people, they buy music too. And way before Trump was in the office, a lot of these musicians, y'all got your start under a Republican president. And yes, that matters. You got your start under a Republican regime. That's number one. But more importantly, you guys shouldn't have your politics mixed up in your music, because that can turn a lot of people off. That goes for him or any other rapper. Because these rappers will get up here and defend BLM and they'll diss Candance Owens and this and that and third, and talk about white people and this and that. But for your level of success as a musician, all kind of white people buy your shit. It ain't just those liberal whites that tell you what you want to hear, they always have black friends, but you never meet them, but they'll jam off of rap music. They're not the only ones buying rap music. Conservative whites buy rap music. Conservative blacks buy rap music. So I think rappers, singers, and entertainers, the jesters of the time, should keep their politics and their opinions out of it. Candance Owens was exactly right when she was saying to another rapper, politics is her forte, not rap. She's not chasing her clout about rap. This is about politics and policies and the things going on with black people. And Candance Owens is 100% right in some regards. Now, Patrisse Cullors, I was watching her interview, and I'm looking at this 38-year-old woman. And again, I'm a 1980 baby, so I'm real hard on the 80s, because a lot of y'all niggas is weenies. She's one of them. 38 years old, talking about, your life and this and that and the other. Number one, homegirl. Black Lives Matter in the last few years is the best marketing scheme since the Kardashians. Those three women, or I think it's three of them, made money hand over fist from city to city. You had kids in major cities, little cities, protesting in the name of your cause. Now a few years now that the former POTUS is out the office, and you guys have gotten your notoriety, when is any of that money you women earn gonna flow back to the hood? Because the hood supported you. The hood went out and rioted for you on your cause. Whether all black people agreed with it or we didn't. Because I was caught up in the middle of those riots here in Philadelphia, funnily enough. I did a video, but I unlisted a lot of my old videos. I'm going to relist them. But I did a video that day. I got stuck at work that day. And I remember having to walk up Broad Street. Pardon the kids, they out there doing their thing. I had to walk up Broad Street, and I'll never forget. I was at a train stop, Broad and Spring Garden here in Philadelphia. It was an old black woman. She had to go get her medicine. I swear on my mother and dad, this is a true story. And I had to tell this woman they're not running. She had to get her medicine from Center City. She was waiting for the 16. And if any of you been in Philadelphia, the 16 rides right into the Center City. They're downtown. And I told her, ma'am, you can't go down there because they're rioting and everything's closed. You shouldn't go home. When y'all rioted BLM, a lot of you motherfuckers looted the Walmarts, the Targets, the Foot Lockers, the pharmacies. You looted grocery stores. And I assure you, there's a lot of old people living here in Philadelphia, old black people, that couldn't get their medicine, couldn't get their adaptive equipment and different things that they need to live because you guys decided to riot and burn and pillage in the name of BLM. Now, this woman, Patricia, you sitting on millions of dollars. So much so you're buying houses in Studio City out there in LA. Y'all done bought, and this isn't the first time I heard they were buying $2-3 million mansions. A few of them, but I didn't know Candance Owens is going to put that together in a documentary, that's going to be great. Where's the money? I don't care about a content house you're building out there for young black content creators. Where's the fucking money, heifer? In a time where a lot of black single mothers are getting priced out of the neighborhoods that they were brought up in, they're bringing their kids in. Where's the fucking money? You mean to tell me you can buy all these mansions and the same women and men that were supporting your cause looted and burned and pillaged in the name of your cause? Where's the money? Why aren't you helping out these women becoming homeless? These young black families becoming homeless? And even some of these white people that supported your cause. A lot of them are doing bad right now. But certainly black people should come first because Black Lives Matter. In some respects, things are worse than it ever was in this country. You got mothers that have a milk shortage across this country. Black mothers included in that. You got black families from coast to coast that can't get to work because gas is, if you're out there in LA, I saw something that, I hope that stays out in LA if they over $7 already, but that's coming to the East Coast. You mean to tell me BLM, Black Lives Matter, and black people come first? You, with all that's going on with the people, the president and vice president, you guys endorsed with Brandon and his vice president that we never hear nothing from with all this shit going on. You mean to tell me you three people, and in this case just this one co-founder, but I think there's three of them, you can't send gas cards to some of these communities that just got done burning the city down for you a few years ago? You can't send grocery cards for some of these mothers across the country? Or how about this? Y'all sitting on millions. Y'all can't buy in bulk some formula for maybe Canada or Mexico or somewhere where there's a supply around the world. Y'all can't make that happen, and y'all made them millions of dollars. But you want someone to give two shakes of a lamb's tail about your crocodile tears and your family? Are you kidding me? And a lot of y'all will still dog Candance Owens. And here's the thing about Candance Owens, because when I watch her on Revolt and I'm watching those people pretty much attack and bash her, because that's what that was, and clap over her and stuff, I don't even know why she did that panel, because the whole panel was a joke. If you get the joke, I don't even know why she did that panel. Because that panel, again, I don't care what a rapper thinks. I could care less. Only your job is to make me dance. And in the last 10 years, a lot of y'all can't even do that. So I don't care what a rapper thinks. But the way they treated Candance Owens, Candance is a black woman like I am. And I don't know what day it became that certain black women get to pick what's black and what's not. Who's white and who's not. And I don't care Candance Owens is married to a white man. Because never once have I seen her get up on YouTube talking about how great white men are and all this other stuff. More than likely, she had to marry a white guy because a lot of black men call her white. I know. I've been through it already. I've been her age. One of the reasons I'm single now, a lot of black men, they talk a good game, but them good manners, not swearing, all that stuff, that only belongs to other races of women. They call women like Candance Owens and myself stuck up. When you guys hear me swear on these videos, to be 100% honest, I get my bad mouth from my dad. But I really try to watch just swearing in public, because my mother, and to the credit of her sisters and some of my older cousins, they would say women aren't supposed to curse, just like women aren't supposed to spit on the street. But some of you black men, and I've encountered this myself, will call a black woman white because she doesn't spit. I've been told you're just stuck up because I don't spit on the street. And it seems to me, being mannerly only goes to a certain class of women too, the other races of women too. Someone like Candance Owens, who's a married woman with children, got a husband in tow, made a life for herself, standing on her convictions. Y'all call her white, but we got this baby mama that milked you out of millions. Milked you out of fucking millions, and continues to, with her crocodile tears, throwing parties for Brandon and his people and her grown son. Well, he looked grown. She said he was a teenager, but that nigga looked 30 years old, man. That's the most grownest looking teenager I've seen in a long time. But you throwing him parties. Then gonna say, oh, we only used it twice. Bullshit. Because that wasn't the only house that was bought. Because sometime last year, I think, I was hearing rumblings about BLM getting caught up in buying $3 or $4 million mansions and haven't given a penny back to the people. Not one penny. I mentioned in my earlier video about that mass shooting. My sister, 18 years younger than me, when she and my other sister, they were going out, her more so, going out here doing all this crazy protesting and things. I tried to explain to her, like I said in my other video, be ready to die for your beliefs, because there's people on this soil that are ready to die for theirs. And BLM was using you. They used you. Since those riots and since the former president, look at the crime in this country. This was the same organization that called on defunding the police. Look at the crime in this country. And I'm talking about in our communities. I know there was a mass shooting, and I know that's unfortunate, and I want that white boy to fry because he's dead wrong. On the other hand, BLM, this is just for you. That white boy to the side. Our young men and young women now are continuing to get shot, killed, maimed, tortured. almost with impunity. Not in any one city, from coast to coast. The only thing you gotta do is watch the news. I haven't seen Black BLM come in once and say, listen, we're gonna set up community centers in these neighborhoods to help re-educate these kids on problem resolution. We're gonna set up some programs for the communication for Black men and women to get better, especially parents, Black parents to get better. No, none of that. Hell, for what it's worth, they didn't even say, okay, we made these millions of dollars. Black single mothers are becoming the biggest demographic. They're homeless in this country. Do these bitches say, listen, instead of buying three mansions, why don't we take some of that money and go pay a year's worth of rent for some of these young women? Some of these young men. Why aren't they starting job training programs here in Philadelphia? They made a lot of money here in Philadelphia. I have one young man who told me, well, he's not all that young, he's 35, but he's right. He made a grip off of BLM because he was selling t-shirts and things. A lot of these young Black people went to boot for you in hope of some kind of change. And you don't even open a program in these kids' names or young people's names. What a slap in the face. You don't open nothing for the old people in their name. What a slap in the face. But you can go mansion shopping. And I'm glad Candance Owens, in some ways she's going to be more savvy with this social media thing than I am, because I hurried up and watched her reply to her. Because Candance is going to get her. And I hope she does, because they were frauds. Nothing has changed in these neighborhoods, or depending on who you ask, it might have gotten worse in these neighborhoods since BLM. Now we got a bunch of young people that already their home lives are, we'll just say, they're not traditional. BLM, I don't care how good their intentions were, have created a climate amongst young Black people that they don't have to listen to these cops. And that's very scary. They don't have to listen to any authority for that matter, but cops certainly. And these cops, in case you haven't noticed, are always going to treat your young men different than white young men. So you might want to teach them something. But I just find it funny that when I read the comments about Candance Owens, she still gets called all these names. And then women from Black Lives Matter, if y'all don't see the rope-a-dope, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. Because I would think if Black Lives really mattered, they would have took them funds and at least gave some of it back to the people that got arrested, maced, went to jail behind their cause, behind their moniker, BLM. Them three tramps ain't did shit. And if they did do anything, nothing big that made a splash that we hear from coast to coast, the same way we were hearing BLM when they were making all that fucking money. We heard that coast to coast. They couldn't wait for another Black guy to get shot by a cop so they could make more money. But I'm looking forward to that documentary from Candance Owens. I'm looking forward to see what she reveals, because BLM used you niggas. Much like the president and the regime now. They use you. And the sad thing is, the blacks that are warning you, be the male or female, y'all get mad at us. Y'all get mad at us. We can't help the times. Y'all get mad at people who are telling you, look, you're being led to slaughter. BLM, the only thing they cared about was making their way out to those celebrities and making all that money. And I can prove it, because again, nothing's been started. Now, I haven't heard of them starting any programs for the Black people in this country. Not at all. But on that note, I'm about to get out of here. I think it's about to rain, but I'm going to walk to the store anyway. Guys, I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. This is Rochelle Tannen. I'm out.